Hope I am able, you are able to hear me. Am I audible to all of you? Hello, everybody. So first and foremost thing, sorry, because I was about to come live at 8:30, but due to some emergency, I have to come live right now. But nonetheless, we're going to discuss about the aspect, whatever we are going to discuss, that is the 5 cases that changed the Indian anti-rape laws forever. Okay. Now, before getting into this session, I'd like to tell you a few things, and then I'll share a document, and then we'll start discussing over this particular aspect of 5 rape cases and how the reform happened. So recently, you might have heard a very horror story, the horrific story, not horror. Okay, the horrific story regarding that South Calcutta Law College. Student, she was basically gang raped, it was alleged. And the situation currently in West Bengal, because in South Calcutta Law College, because there are various law colleges I went to, I have done seminar, though I haven't gone to South Calcutta Law College personally, but I have gone to nearby 2-3 other colleges in Kolkata. South Calcutta Law College is a very good college in Kolkata regarding this aspect. But one very important thing, this rape situation, whenever, wherever it is going to happen, it is a very, very, what I say, it's not a good thing. I'm ashamed of the situation, whatever happened, because it's a law student, it happened to law student or any other student. It is nothing to share. Okay. And this live stream, I am not doing for the sake of, uh, because there are some knowledge that I want to disseminate. Definitely, I disseminate with a lot of students. I'm sharing my knowledge with many students. I'm going to share. But the thing is that this kind of knowledge on this kind of incident, I don't want to share. Okay, because it is nothing to be proud of, right? At the end of the day. But whatever has happened, we need to talk. We need to discuss why this happened, because at the end of the day, there are some situations, grave situations that are there that lead to this particular incident. So the person who has done it, the main culprit is the Monojit Mishra. Though there are so many political angle into it, I don't want to get into that political angle. In the conclusion, we have certain things, okay, that we're going to talk about in detail. But the rape laws and how it has the anti-rape laws in India shaped by these 4 cases, because this every time this kind of incident happened, and then it led to some kind of legal reforms, which is also very, what I say, regressive in nature. It's not progressive, it's not proactive, it is reactionary. But that's how probably our consciousness grows. That what's having me said, general consciousness of people are evolving. We are also evolving down the time. But the most importantly, we are going to talk about this aspect in detail, and we're going to talk about the history, and that might be important for your CLAT PG for the rape laws, whatever we're going to talk about. Okay, so we are going to talk about the aspect of different case laws which laid the foundation of changes that we are seeing right now in anti-rape laws, but that might not be very effective to curb rape laws, that we're going to talk about later in the conclusion part. Having said that, but these 4 cases, 5 cases, whatever I'm going to mention, these cases are very, very important. The stepping stone to build our nation forward regarding women's safety, which is one of utmost priority. And we all are wanting to do it. Okay. Now, let's talk about this very important aspect. And I'm going to share a document with all of you. Okay. And then we're going to start discussing about it. Now, rape laws. Okay. So wait a minute. I'm going to share the document and you will get to see the document uh, regarding this thing. Okay. 1 second. So as you people very well aware of the situation of South Calcutta Law College. Okay. And then this kind of things happened regarding this the gang rape. Okay, this is not a good instance or good incident that currently West Bengal is proud of at the end of the day. Okay, because RG has happened last year. This year, the South Calcutta Law College. So definitely the government is under scanner, and people have protested a lot during the Arjikor. And this time the protest are again, the people are protesting. Okay, so let's start with the discussion, and we want to talk about these 5 cases in detail. And I hope you are able to see my 1 second. Not sorry. 1 second. Yeah. I hope you are able to see my screen right now regarding this 5 rep. I've made a simple PPT, which is a very simple one in regards to without any coloring or anything, because this is not a very topic in which the other aspect, the black and white, should be the best one to talk about it. Okay, that's why. So let's talk about it in detail, this anti-rape laws and the 5 rape cases. Okay. So the first and foremost thing, as a rape, you know very well what rape is: a crime against bodily integrity and sexual autonomy. Okay. And it this particular rape and why it has happened, you very well know how the Indian society has been developed throughout the um, years. And one of the situation, not only the patriarchal society or patriarchy that is based within the societal fabrics, that is one of the very important reasons, but how the woman has been perceived in the society. Woman has been seen as been seen as a property, as a product, and not as individuals. That is one of the very important notion that is so deep rooted in Indian society, that led to the rape and any other violence against women that we are able to see, not only in West Bengal but in different parts of India and different parts of world. Because of this one very important notion, women were seen as property. Okay, not as individuals. So that important part. Having said that, this origin of anti-rape laws were there in 1860 IPC. It was there, and then that time when that law was basically framed in Indian Penal Code, this law was more about um, victim blaming, more about putting the finger towards women. Why you are not good, why you have to dress like that. In that sense, if I say it in common words or common parlance, कि आप ऐसे क्यों नहीं बिहेव कर रहे हो, आपको ऐसा बिहेव करना चाहिए. And it's a always a moral finger towards women. They need to behave in certain way, and that's why the women have basically seduced men to act or commit the rape. That what the general notion is. Okay, so that was there during when post 1860, how the situation happened out, which later changed, basically, which later changed uh, drastically. Now Indian society is also evolving, but nonetheless, this kind of bestiality you are seeing that is existing, that we have to fight each other. We have to fight uh, against it. Okay, otherwise we don't want this to continue for so long. Okay. Now, this origins of anti-rape laws that I talked about, victim's credibility judged over accused kills. Accused is always given the better understanding. Accused को बोला जा रहा है कि victim के कारण accused has committed the crime. That I was telling you. That was the main understanding of anti-rape laws in the very initial period, that it was presumed. But the rape laws got a sudden change from the 1970 onwards. And these 4 cases played a very, very major role in that particular situation. The first case that drew huge protest throughout India that time, that is Mathura rape case. It was a case 1972. Teenage Adivasi girl was raped in police custody. It was a custodial rape for the very first time. Court basically seen the custodial rape case in such that magnitude in 1972, where police officers committed the rape in police custody. Okay. Now the situation was not that when this particular case went to sessions court, ये case जब sessions court में गया ना, तब sessions court said they have done the sexual intercourse, not the rape. So think about the regressive mindset of the judges that time also, how we used to think. We, as that time, thought sexual intercourse are not rape. In the sessions court in Mathura rape case, they have given the judgment, and that's why they are the police men, they were acquitted free. First. Second, when that particular case, the appeal went to High Court basically convicted the policeman that time. Okay. But again in Supreme Court, it changed. Policemen were acquitted. Why? Because they said there were no injuries found. If it was that teenage Adivasi girl was raped, why she's not calling for help or shouting or no alarm was found that time regarding this situation. Okay. So as a result, Supreme Court went on to this verdict that this policeman did not commit rape. Okay. And one of the very incident that happened, submission and the consent, because that time the definition of consent was not clear. क्योंकि अभी आजकल आप जैसे one of the very famous movie regarding the rape was Pink. I hope you have watched the movie of Pink, where the Amitabh Bachchan during the cross-examining and the witness, and this when he was telling no means no, and I hope you have watched it. I'm not elaborating that factor. But one very important part in Mathura rape case, the most important part that you need to understand, that time the definition of concept was not clear. What is concept? So this Mathura rape case, this girl, Adivasi girl, she was basically submissive. She basically succumbed and submitted herself during the rape. And the Supreme Court and court basically understood that as she submitted to rape, so she basically consented to rape. Okay. So this particular connotation, whether submission means consent or not, this very important situation erupted, because after the Mathura rape case judgment, Supreme Court, this judgment was hugely criticized by the professors Upendra Bakshi, Kelkar, these scholars. They criticized it. They written open letter to Chief Justice, said submission cannot be consent. And then the result of the Mathura rape case, that is huge, because for the very first time, Criminal Law Amendment Act came into the picture. Criminal Law Amendment in 1983. Because that Criminal Law Amendment in 1983 is the first change that very much needed that time against the rape laws. Okay. So there are a few very important changes that has happened, the impact of Mathura rape case. One, Section 114A, presumption of no consent. So this 114A of the Evidence Act, that was basically changed. I'm talking about the old laws. Section 114A, presumption of no consent. So if it is girls saying no, so the presumption is that the burden of proof will be shifting towards the person, the accused in that case. Okay, presumption of no consent. That's how it is the section 114A. Okay. Section 376B to D in the Indian Penal Code, the custodial rape got the entry for the very first time in Indian Penal Code. Police authority committing the rape, they will be punished. Okay. So if you go and check back the punishment and all those things, I'm not getting into too much detail, but I need to show you how these cases majorly change the aspect of it. Section 228A, which is also very important, where victim's identity is protected nowadays. This, as you know, the South Carolina Law College girl, the identity is not basically revealed. Even in Arjigor case, it was given a name Tilottama. Okay, so the identity of the person or the girl was pretty much protected. It was not disclosed. Even in case of Nirbhaya, it was Nirbhaya, not the identity, it was not disclosed. So section 228A in the 1983 Amendment Act, it was incorporated, which is a very important in relation to that. And custodial, the situation of custody, how the police were being the authority or the you can say the power imbalance, that was also addressed that time. Okay, so this is the Mathura rape case. I hope you understood. If you have any query, do let me know in the comment box. Okay, do let me know in the comment box regarding this aspect. Now, the second important case, which is of utter importance, like Mathura, because Mathura rape case first laid the foundation for the coming changes. Okay. Now, second case is Bhanwari Devi case. Okay. She is basically, I don't know you are aware about this lady. She's I call her Iron Lady. Okay. Because around 1982, this particular time, she was an employee in women and child development care. Okay. And her work is basically to spread awareness among the Rajasthan, okay, among the Rajasthani villages. Okay, because Rajasthan, as you people are aware, is very infamous for child marriage. Okay, तो इनका काम ये था कि विलेज में जाके चाइल्ड मैरिज जहां पर हो रहा है उनके पेरेंट्स को या फैमिलीज को नेबर को to make them aware कि child marriage ना करें, not to engage in child marriages and not to uh, indulge in such practices. Okay, but what has happened? She went, and in one of the situation, she went into that particular event, and when she stopped it, that led to the situation where she faced a very brutal incident. She was gang raped. Okay. Now the thing is that here she is fighting her battle for long. Even I saw one article. If you search about Vanwari Devi on Google, you will get to know. आप गूगल में भी सर्च करोगे आपको मिल जाएगा रिगार्डिंग भानोरी देवी. नाउ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, अगर आप भानोरी देवी के बारे में सर्च करोगे ना, शी लॉस्ट द बैटल रिगार्डिंग कि while though the persons who committed the gang rape, the court basically acquitted them. The reason being, they say court said कि upper caste men would not rape a lower caste woman. Think about the mindset that we had that time. Okay, so Vanori Devi never got the justice that she demanded. But the best part, not the best part, but it's a consequence or that part that led to Visakha guidelines. So you people are aware sexual harassment in workplace. So this Vanori Devi case led to the Visakha guideline. Well, sir, how? Because the situation is that this Vanori Devi case, she was at work because she had the work of making people aware about the child marriage, and that did not happen. Okay, that did not happen. And as a result, the most important part, okay, is that Supreme Court given a foundation for Visakha guidelines. So you know, sexual harassment in workplace, the act which came way later, post 2010. But Visakha guidelines given by the Supreme Court was the basically guiding light for all the women at workplace post 2000. Okay, so as a result, these Visakha guidelines were very, very important, and Manoli Devi were one of the cases that you need to remember regarding this aspect. Okay. This is the second case, definitely, that I need to talk about, and how Visakha guidelines change our thinking and thought process regarding the aspect. Now, case number 3 is another very what I say, brutal gang rape. And this time I was there in Delhi. I can remember the march and everything, because that time I was there in Delhi. I was participating in all the things, and being an intern, I can remember many things. Okay. The situations that of Delhi that time, I vividly remember. So this Nirbhaya rape case, I don't need to mention. It was so brutal, so horrific, and it sparked a global outrage throughout India that led to very important Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013, gang rape included, which I'm going to talk about the impact. Okay, 4 convicts sentenced to death, juvenile offenders sentenced to 3 years. So there are many changes that led to Nirbhaya rape case. Okay. Now, after this case, the one very important incident happened. The parliament and the executive, they took many things at their hand. Even the Justice Burma Committee was set up, and few very important part that needed to be incorporated into Indian Penal Code and other laws that needed to be rechecked. They gone through it. So they gave several recommendations. These are the recommendations: redefining the rape and consent, which in Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013 they have done, scrapping the two-finger test, marital rape immunity. So they also said that marital rape should be an offense. That was not taken into consideration, by the way. Stalking voyeurism 354 included in the Indian Penal Code that time. Okay, Women's Bill of Rights. That is one thing. Rejected death penalty as deterrent. So though they have rejected the death penalty, these are the very important aspect of the Justice Burma Committee. And I have just put it in context here one by one so that you'll be able to know it very clearly. Okay. Now, if you see the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013, I have given brief understanding here. You will get to know it. So the definition of rape has been broadened, okay? Because now any kind of the bodily contact is also included now, section 375. Age of the consent raised to 18, 16 to 18, that has been done. New sections 376A2E have been included because of the Nirbhaya gang rape. The gang rape included rape causing death, repeat offenders. These are the very important provisions have been included into the criminal law, which were not there. Okay. Marital rape was included, but during separation time, the marital rape was also included. Though another very important part, marital rape is a very important part still existing in India that hasn't been addressed, which is a very difficult to talk about also. Clear definition of consent and interest punishment. So definition of consent also included for the very first time. So these are the very important part regarding the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013, which given a huge uplift in relation to protection of women. But having said that, this did not stop rape. I'm very sorry to say it, okay? Because after this, there are another 2 cases which are very, very horrific. Unnao rape case 2017 and Kathua rape case. Unnao rape case where BJP MLA Kuldeep Senegal raped minor. And this is a very different kind of situation like Unnao rape case. Nothing led to this other than because along with the Unnao rape case and Kathua rape case, then Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018 followed. Okay. So there was conviction, 20 lakh compensation that were followed regarding this Unnao rape case. But then again, during that time, Kathua rape case happened, where the 8-year-old raped in temple. Okay. So it was very different situation there. Okay. And after the Unnao rape case and Kathua rape case, that led to the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2018. Okay. So because Criminal Law Amendment 2018 made again few changes regarding this aspect. I'll show it to you. Okay. Increased minimum punishment for rape. Okay. That is also increased. 376 AB rape of child below 12 years, life and death. Both are given. Gang rape of child less than 16 years, life imprisonment. Gang rape of child less than 12, life and death. So all those situations, it was the Criminal Amendment Act is more focused on child because of the impact of Kathua rape case. Child sexual abuse were needed to be curbed, and Criminal Law Amendment Act tried to do that. Okay, it's a very simple thing. So these are the case laws that I wanted to mention with you regarding the anti-rape laws history. So first is definitely Mathura rape case, then Banwari Devi case. Third is definitely your Nirbhaya case. Fourth is Unnao, and then Kathua. These are the rape cases that changed the Indian anti-rape law history. But the most important part, all these rape laws, I can say it, is nothing but a reaction. Okay, it is not proactive because the South Calcutta Law College this incident is happening every year in every place. Okay, many places getting the highlight or getting the headlines of the newspaper, and most of the rape cases they're not getting anything, not getting the highlight, go unnoticed. So this needed to be changed, and this cannot be changed by blaming any party, because whenever any party comes to the power, this kind of situation will happen. You can't really blame anything. Okay, so at the end, it is not about the people who are watching or people who are blaming TMCP or BJP in different parts. It's not like that. But the most important part we have to understand, it is the us. We need to change. It is us. We need to change. Okay, because if we don't change, then I don't think so. It is possible for anybody. It is possible for anybody to change us. Okay, so these things we needed to be very careful and needed to be understood very carefully. What do you think? What do you think regarding this aspect? Okay, do let me know in the comment box, and your view matters. If you have any query regarding this, do let me know. And good night to all of you. Okay, see you again.